This is episode number 285 of the Middle Country Public Library podcast. Hello and welcome. It's Sal here with a special episode this week. We're very happy to have some special guests come down and talk to us about our event coming up on Tuesday, August 1st at 5:30 p.m. at the Centereach Pool Complex. It is National Night Out. Once again, this is our fifth year as partners with the Suffolk County Police Department, Cope Division, and the town of Brookhaven. And I was very happy to have this great conversation with some special guests who came down. So here is that conversation right now for you. Enjoy. Okay, we have a full studio today, which is very rare, but it's great to see everyone here. You know, once a year, for the last 5 years, actually, we've had folks come down to talk about this amazing event that's coming up on August 1st. And it's National Night Out. And I'm very happy to have here in the studio Officer Casey and Officer John from the 6th Precinct Cope. Hi, how you doing?
Hey, Sal, how are you?
Hi, Sal. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming down. Also very happy to have from the town, Brookhaven Councilman Neil Manzella.
Sal, good to be here. Thank you so much.
Good to have you here. And Brookhaven Town Clerk Kevin LaValle.
Always a pleasure to be down here, Sal, for, I guess, the fifth year that we're doing this.
Back to the podcast. Thanks for coming back.
Absolutely.
So, Officers Casey and John, what is, for those who don't know, what is National Night Out?
Well, thank you for asking. It is an annual community building campaign that promotes police community partnerships and neighborhood camaraderie. So really nationwide, it is this event. It's always on the first Tuesday of the month where, departments everywhere across the country get together, identifying a venue. We have this wonderful venue in Centereach that we're going to be having it at, where we invite, whether it's businesses, libraries, organizations, anybody in the community who we have some sort of a partnership with to further better that relationship with them, and introduce to other community members, to provide time and space for everybody to get to know one another, to connect on another level where it's a free recreational event where people can come, hang out, enjoy lots of giveaways, get to know the different businesses in the area. And it's all the people that support us throughout the year. So it's also a thank you to them to be so supportive to Suffolk County Police Department for everything that they do for us as a department. And the town has been absolutely amazing in creating this event with us and supporting us by providing this amazing venue. I mean, this has grown. It's the best. It really is. It's just gotten bigger and bigger every year. Thousands of people have been showing up at this event. And we can't thank the town enough for coming up with this amazing idea to do the pool. Is just, I mean, what the kids just love to come and jump in the pool. That's the one big free kind of like woohoo for all the kids. But there's so many other things that they can do as well.
Sure. And
we wouldn't be able to do this without the support of the town. They're really helping us make this happen.
So the department's going to be there meeting people. May I ask, what is COPE?
Well, COPE is community-oriented policing enforcement. I really like to call us like the community affairs of the police precinct of the department. We really are out interacting with everybody in the community. And, at an event like this, everybody knows us, Casey and I, and we really like to bring the patrol division in and our other officers in the precinct to be present and be there as well, so that everybody from the community can get to know them as well. It really is a great time.
And I could just jump into the COPE officers. As an elected official, they're really our first line of defense. When we have issues that we're getting from wherever it could be in the community, whether it's quality of life issues, drug issues, things to that effect, they're the first people we call. We reach out to them. They're at all the community meetings. They're listening to all the issues that the residents have. But they're an invaluable service to the community as a whole. And having been a councilman for 9 years now, the town clerk, when we have issues, we go right to our COPE officers. And we've had, for my 9 years in office, going into 10 years, amazing COPE officers that are always responsive, always there, always within the community, talking about issues, helping us out. And there's just been a great synergy between the town and the police. in this area for many years at this point, just because there's certain issues the police could deal with and there's certain issues that the town has to deal with certain quality of life issues. But when we come together and we're on the same page, we attack those issues very clearly and very consciously. And it really has been a great synergy. We've got a lot done in communities dealing with just so many different issues. So I really, my hat goes off to all the COPE officers and all our police officers, just the great job that they do on a daily basis.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your service, all that you do for us. And I'm just curious, when you do go out there and you meet the public, what's like a common thing, like a common question maybe that people ask you, or a common interaction that you have? Because it's a nice opportunity for people. I think, there's almost a stigma. People are afraid to, maybe approach you and ask you a question. And when you're working, you're out there, you don't want to get involved. But like, when you have these opportunities, what's like a common thing that people ask you?
Well, I don't think there really is anything that really pops out. But I like to engage in conversation with anyone in the public about anything. I always ask them how they're doing today, what's going on, how's things, just to get that informal conversation going. Mm-hmm. It doesn't always have to be about work. It doesn't always have to be about a problem. In that conversation, I may go on and ask again, anything you want to talk about, anything going on in your community that we could help you with? And then they may come forward with a question, with a concern. We'll provide them our card, our phone number to get in touch with us. Emails, that thing. I mean, I think we really want to provide, and thank you, Kevin, for those kind remarks about us, but I think we really want to provide this like superior customer service to the community. You know what I mean? And that's how I envision this, and I think Casey as well. We just want to provide that great customer service and represent the police department.
Fantastic.
Really
I think,
great.
yeah, and just to piggyback on that, I think that's a great point. Like that is, we want to make it as much of a natural conversation as possible. So if it's, like a little girl wearing an Ariel t-shirt, to start the conversation there, just something that doesn't have to even be about our job and what we do, but just to have people recognize that we are people behind the uniform, and it doesn't always have to be about that. And I think that helps foster that rapport and get people to have that more of a natural connection with us, and then segue into maybe another conversation about what they're experiencing, whether it's in school or at home or in their community, where we can help them in a different way.
That's fantastic. National Night Out, again, is Tuesday, August 1st this year. Right. What can folks expect?
Yeah, so I just actually wanted to touch on what Officer John had said, is that I think the most important part that he nailed on was about the service back to the community. And through the town working with the police department, such a good relationship that we have is just good public service. It's having us on the same page moving forward allows both of our organizations to best serve our community the best. But with National Night Out, this is our way of saying, here's how we can give back to thank the community for all of their support over the time. And this National Night, I mean, I'm still new here. I'm the new face here. But they had mentioned about having all the vendors that are coming out. I mean, there's over 30 vendors, I believe, that are signed up to come out to show support to the community in this. They mentioned all the National Night Outs happening across the country, and a little more specifically across Suffolk County here. But this one in the Middle Country, community in our district, coming at the Centereach Pool, this is the biggest one by far. I think I don't think it's a comparison. And the outpouring from the public and the outpouring from people who want to come out and show their support, because again, it's not an event that somebody has to pay to come in and do it. This is free for the public. It's free for the vendors. It's about everybody coming together as the community to show support for one another. And like I said, there's about 30 community vendors that are going to be there.
Excellent.
When those community vendors reached out, our biggest thing is trying to pitch to them, hey, this is a family-oriented event as well, because the community is not just the adults in the community. And so we stress to every vendor, hey, bring something fun for the kids to do. Bring something interactive that everybody can take part in and just have a good time. That's the whole purpose of the night. And so that's what we can event. There's going to be a touch a truck event going on. So we're going to have trucks from the highway department there. I think there's going to be some police department vehicles there. The kids love that. They eat it up. It happened here at the Middle Country Library. The Touch a Truck event is always a huge success. We're bringing that there. There's going to be some food trucks there. People get some food. The concession stand's going to be open, and the pool's going to be open the whole night. That's one of the most important things. Everybody loves coming out and having just a good time.
And let's not forget the DJ who's going to be playing great music
you're
that
right.
night,
Wow.
keeping everybody going.
Well, what I like to always say with National Night Out, our 5th year, we're always doing something new and something better as we've gone along. I mean, this started off many years ago with Officer Will Zeman. I was hosting a basketball tournament. We're at the pool complex, and Will said, I walked him around the whole complex, and he looked and he said, God, we do this thing National Night Out. Why can't we do it here? Can we work with you here and do it? And it's really evolved over the years, and I think, every year we always get feedback from the community. How can we do it better? And I love that Councilman Manzella has now jumped in on this, and now he puts his own touch on this. And one of the things that he's done, I know he has to speak about, is last year thought there wasn't enough food at the venue.
That's right.
And Neil literally jumped in right on this thing, and he's a big foodie. He loves his restaurants, loves his stuff. That's his thing. And Neil, you got to touch on what are we bringing in this year? What's the new food stuff that we're bringing in to make sure?
Thank you. Not to comment on my weight with that one, but no. Listen, when it comes to an event like this, you want to enjoy it to its fullest. And when it comes to the food, people are going to be here. The idea is to come out for a long time. I mean, this is a 4-hour event almost. The pool's 3-hour event. Opens at 5:30, goes until 8:30. But this is prime dinner time for most families now. We want to have the options there so they can come out and they don't feel like they have to leave in order to go home, get some eat. So the concession stands are open. They're going to be serving food there. We have food trucks coming in. I believe the empanada truck is coming in. We have Chubb's Butcher Shop is coming in. There's another one that I can't remember off the top of my head. Chick-fil-A is going to have food. Chick-fil-A is going to have food there.
My goodness.
Taco Island.
Taco Island is coming in. Thank you. Again, there's so much going on with this night. It's hard to remember it all right now.
Vincent's wood-fired pizza.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's the one.
It's like a food
If
court.
you name it, you're going to the idea for this is everybody could come out, and whether you want to go in the pool, you don't want to go in the pool, there's going to be something to do there and some way to enjoy yourself.
And that's at 286 Hawkins Road in Centereach, the pool complex there.
Centereach Pool Complex, yep.
And there's no registration, right? People can just come down?
No registration. It's a free event. Just got to show up. However, be prepared. The parking will probably be tight. Again, the good problem is also the bad problem, where this is the biggest National Night Out event. There is going to be a big crowd. The parking is all in the main lots at the Centereach Pool.
Okay.
The parking is also across the street. There's going to be crossing guards going to be there to escort you across the street. It's going to be a big turnout, and we just hope that everybody's going to come out.
And I'm sorry, the times for that?
It starts at 5:30.
Okay.
The gates will open at 5:30, and it goes until 8:30 at night.
8:30 at night. And this is, I assume this is rain or shine.
Rain or shine.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, very good. That's at the Centereach Pool. Once again, 286 Hawkins Road in Centereach. I'd like to thank everybody for coming down. But before we go, I just want to talk about another project that's going on really quick. And we mentioned this last year, but I just wanted a little update on that beautiful park that they're putting on Hawkins. Does someone want to just key us in and tell us what's happening with that?
I'm going to let Kevin do this because I fully I plan on taking all credit when it's officially opened at the grand opening. But this is, I can't stress enough, this complex is the prime example of good government. This is a long-term, multi-year plan that started as just an idea and that has built into something that is, in my opinion, just an absolute gorgeous addition to this community for, again, everybody to enjoy. Kevin spearheaded this in the past. This was all in place before I came on board. As a resident first, I am incredibly happy that it's here now. I went there last night with my family, and every single part of the park was being used by at least someone, and just everybody had a smile on their face, and it was just, it really brought it all into perspective exactly of what kind of, good power we have here. And so I'm going to give it over to Kevin, who brought this all together. Yeah. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Neil. I know it's going to be Manzella Park when you're done with it. But no, this is something that really started many years ago with Legislator Tom Muratori. It's 14 years we've been working on this. I always make the comment that I wasn't gray when I started this. My hair has slowly turned gray as this project has gone on. But we're at the point, it's been amazing to see how it's developed. Literally, we were supposed to open in August, and what happened was because we had such a mild winter, we were able to build everything out. The last thing we're waiting on, we're going to do a grand opening. I was talking with probably in September because we still have to do the road improvements on Boyle Road. But when you go in that park now, you really see what the community's there. We were there yesterday walking around all day long. People are walking around. The kids are using the first ever deck and roller hockey rinks in the town of
fantastic.
Brookhaven's history, which is amazing to have that. But there's a little something for everybody to do. You have the multi-purpose fields. You have the deck hockey rinks. You have the baseball fields that are there, which, by the way, we have a 600-person stadium that we built in there.
Seriously?
We're going to be hosting press box with everything. We're going to be hosting the Long Island Championship games there.
Wow.
That's our goal down the road. We built this to make sure it lasts, and it's something the community can be proud of, and something that people, no matter what you do, whether you play sports, you just want to go for a walk, you want to bring your kids to the playground, it's there. And, having gone through this whole process to see it all done is amazing. And, I look forward to seeing what Councilman Manzella is going to add to the park because, this was built not to be perfect right away. It's to every person that comes in after me and what have you, it's to put their own little touch on. What can they do to improve the park, to make it better? I think it's a great park right now, but I know Neil has some ideas. I'm looking forward to seeing everything that he has in store for us moving forward with some of the events that are going to go on there. We were just with the Chamber yesterday, with Lenore and Doreen from the Chamber, and they already had ideas about events they want to do there. So this is going to be a real centerpiece to the community, along with the Centereach Pool Complex. If anybody in the Centereach and Selden area ever says they have nothing to do, I would just instruct them to go to Hawkins Road between the Selden Complex and the Centereach Pool Complex. You could find something to do. Guaranteed.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Yeah, I drove by it the other day. I can't. It actually exponentially was like being finished. It was like, oh, there's a parking lot there now. It's like, oh, there's fields there now. It's just really amazing. So it's it's a great addition to our town.
But Sal, we also do have to thank the Middle Country Public Library. They've been a great sponsor to this every year. Their table is always packed with all sorts of different things that they have there. They've been an amazing sponsor. I mean, you see the various programs that they do here. The library, I can't speak enough of the great work that they do. So it's always a big thank you always goes out to them and their involvement within the community and within this event.
Thank you. And that's actually a great segue because I'm going to bring Deborah Hempy in now, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what's going to be at the library table. But before we do that, I'd like to thank Officers Casey and John for coming down. And thank you for your service. And I'd like to thank Kevin and Neil for being here from the town. It's always a pleasure. We hope we can have you back on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us. And just if anybody has any questions about National Night Out or anything else going on in the community, my office is open. We want open phone policies, open door policies. We can be reached at 631-451-6647. And we look forward to seeing everybody at National Night Out.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, folks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, Deborah. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So the crowd has left. It's now much more calm in here. But you're going to tell us about what we should expect for National Night Out in terms of what the library is going to be doing.
Sure. So first off, we will have the Flashing Fingers, which is the library's sign language club. They're going to be performing.
Nice.
So kind of in the beginning of the night, right after the national anthem and that in that time frame, they'll be performing. They'll do a couple of songs. So it's always nice for them to have a venue to perform at, and everyone really seems to enjoy that.
And a big crowd, too, is expected.
Yeah. And then we have a whole bunch of activities for families to do. We have some remote-controlled drones that they can fly within. They stay within our tent area, and they can fly them in there. We have little Ozobot robots that they can code with. We have a button-making activity. We have a Morse code bracelet activity where they get to choose what words they're going to spell out with the colored beads using, a Morse code. So it's a craft, but it's a STEM activity as well. Sure. And then we're going to have a few building block kind of open-ended things that they can use. And then, of course, our spinning wheel with our promotional giveaways, lots of fun things there.
Great.
And information about upcoming events at the library for the rest of the summer and into the fall.
What type of little gifts and tchotchkes are we giving away?
We have bubbles. Nice. We have like a Frisbee kind of thing. Yeah. Oh, we have beach balls.
Oh, cool.
We have like little games that have like the little bead bowls in them.
Yeah.
You remember those from when you were a kid?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what we, instead of video games, we had to play with those.
Exactly. So we have some of those. So those will be a challenge for the kids that they haven't experienced those before.
Exactly.
Their parents will probably love it.
They definitely have to come to the table then.
Definitely come to the table, spin the wheel, try your luck, see if you get what you think you'd like.
Absolutely. And those drones are a lot of fun.
The drones are a lot of fun.
They are. So they're in a tent, right?
They're in a tent.
Okay.
So it's like a screening that's up, and the kids will come in the tent to fly them in there. And depending how long the line is, depends on how long they can fly it. A few minutes each, basically.
Yeah, great.
So
well, it sounds like you have a lot of fun things in store for folks who visit us at the National Night Out. We'll have our own. A booth, right? Our own section.
We have our own section. We also have our Teen Advisory Council will be there. Okay. We have some games from our game collection, big long games that we're going to bring. Those will be set up in an area also, and our Teen Advisory Council helps to run that.
Fantastic. Yeah. So it's, as was mentioned before, it's the 5th year with this great partnership that we have with the town and with the police department.
It is. We love this partnership. It's really great, and it's an absolutely wonderful event.
Exactly. So I hope everybody can come down on August 1st.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. And that does it. I hope that you can join us next Tuesday, August 1st at 5:30 p.m. at the Centereach Pool Complex, 286 Hawkins in Centereach. So if you enjoyed this week's episode, please give us a like on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. We'd love for you to join our channel. Additionally, if you are listening to us on iTunes or Spotify, give us a review, give us some stars. We'd greatly appreciate it. So thank you so much for listening. I'm Sal DiVincenzo. We'll see you on the next show.